Hello everyone, it's me Jenny and it's time for another commentary. And as you can probably tell by how pink I am right now, I'm not actually sunburned, alarmingly. That is just how warm it is in England right now. It is nearly 9 o'clock in the evening and I think Buffy's still about 30 degrees. It is warm, very, very warm. I've literally spent the entire day working in a completely and utterly air-conditioned building, come home to a completely and utterly un-air-conditioned building. England doesn't really do air conditioning, so given that it's been, I think it was, I got told it was about 37 degrees outside of my building, and inside the building I think it was more like 40, which means that the air temperature outside in the sun / in the middle of my workplace is actually technically higher than my internal core temperature. So I've had a little bit of like a weird shaped headache all day. I'm very warm. I have literally sat still doing nothing for the last couple of hours, and I was really proud of myself yesterday for my random walk and talk vlog because I went out in the sun despite the fact that it was really hot and I got to enjoy the sun when everyone else was sulking indoors. And today I got home from work and I just sat, and I'm so warm right now. English people and England in general just does not know how to handle hot weather, and I am one of those people. So it's, in a way, even though I'm hiding indoors, and the air temperature is finally starting to cool down, I'm glad there's a heat wave because it's helping me become acclimatized to warmer weather for this one, but I am so warm right now, it is ridiculous. Anyway, on to the commentary thing, what this video is. So, on last Sunday's crafting video, it came up a bit late, so I'm just going to do that one. So I did some alterations on hems and things. Orbas, I'm going to go with that. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, it's a classic meism. Said that they saw someone else commenting on me being like a fairy tale maiden, which is something that keeps coming up, so thank you. I am a very sweaty fairy tale maiden, if that is what I am today. And suggested that I do some sort of crafting things outside in the style of Alphonse Much's posters in spring and summer. I've seen those posters and they're gorgeous and I'm incredibly flattered. I don't think my hair is long enough to tangle around my ankles though, quite yet. It's a bit plaited, like it comes out about here. But I might do something along those lines. I'm thinking of some point, either for a British culture or a random vlog, showing off some of the berry bushes around the garden, maybe doing just a video of me just picking berries to show off the wonders of the berries I have in my garden. And I might do some sort of crafting thing. I'm working on the prep and the organisation for my braiding videos, so I might do them outdoors. We'll see if it's as warm as it's been the last couple of days. It's going to be too hot to do anything outdoors, but we'll see how that goes. Moving on to my Tuesday vlog, my Monday video has no comments. So my Tuesday random vlog and the defense of Vampire Academy. Baxorn said that Buffy is still funnier than not. It 100% is, at least in my opinion. Nathan Lyle would disagree with you as he doesn't like Buffy anymore. But I think it's still fun as an adult. Definitely, it's very a cathartic show. Like I feel like whenever I'm having an emotional watching Buffy, it just makes you realise that as hard as your life is, at least you're not selling vampires on the daily. So that's a good message, I guess. And yeah, there we go. KSJ Hawker admits to watching the first 2 Twilight movies, but has not been able to muster enough enthusiasm to watch the other. I think enthusiasm is not the right word. I think determination or losing a bet is the right ones. The only reason why I watch them is so that when the debate comes up as to whether or not they're good series, I can be an informed person when I rip them to shreds. And I do think that when you get to the last film, that is, apart from the creepy CGI animated baby, which is the weirdest thing ever, in terms of actual character development, Bella is actually a decentish character in the last film. She actually has agency. Like, she's completely ridiculous, but at least she has something going on rather than all the other films where she's like, I bleed for you. Literally. A lot. For no reason. Anyway, moving on. Big Big Issue quotes me and says we drank through it. Good when you're drunk. I think Vampire Academy is not just good when you're drunk, but it's more of a social film. Like, you don't want to be sat in silence and taking it seriously. What you want is a bunch of people who are in the mindset to enjoy the film, to, when something silly happens, go, ha, that's silly, and you all have a good kind of community laugh. You don't necessarily need to be drunk for that. In fact, the person who watched it was my other sister and was completely stone cold sober, I seem to remember. But you have to be able to be with people who are in a similar frame of mind for something that's silly, something that's fun, something that's surprisingly intelligent. And that's what is so good about Vampire Academy, is that it surprises you expecting something so bad. And it's actually, you have to be with someone who is in the same frame of mind where you go, huh, that's pretty funny. And then, something else happens and you're like, hey, that's pretty smart. That's awesome. So that's how to watch Vampire Academy. You don't need to be drunk. You need to be with people who are in a similar frame of mind to enjoy a silly movie and actually have fun with it. Moving on to last week's commentary. I used the term adorkable, and Mark Armano says that the word adorkable reminds him that he has a Bugs Bunny tattoo. I feel like there has to be a story behind that one. I didn't know it got used in Bugs Bunny, but sure, my knowledge of Bugs Bunny pretty much is summed up by What's Up, Doc, and does he have a scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I think he does. I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of cartoons when I was little. Nathan Lyle says he's heard the term dork before, and commented on my taking swear words literally. I was talking about this actually on my live stream with Chris, not live stream, on my Don't Stop Together video, is that I do take swears literally, and that's just how my brain works. And I'm sorry, I know it's very annoying for a lot of people. But it helps me not swear very often, which is, I think, a good thing in terms of respectability. And Chris was saying on the Don't Stop Together stream that some other YouTuber, 3 levels of connection here, was saying that if you have someone who swears versus someone who doesn't swear in general conversation, the person who doesn't swear is viewed as more intelligent and more thoughtful. Wow, I'm so really very tired that I am slurring. Wow. I've drunk like 8 pints of, a lot of water today. I shouldn't be this blurry, but apparently. Oh well. Yes. The person who's not swearing is deemed more intelligent. So, I think it's a good thing not to swear generally. It means that when you do swear, it has more impact. And it means that it kind of, yeah. I think swearing when swear is due is a good thing. What the heck is a Loganberry? He also asks. I may have to, as I said, I was planning on maybe doing a berry picking video. I may have to show you what Loganberry is. It's kind of like a combination of, like if a raspberry met a blackberry, it's a slightly more bitter raspberry. And yeah, they're quite rare because the thing with them is they're thistled, so they're quite difficult to pick and they're quite difficult to grow. But they're really very nice when you get them. You have to get them exactly the right time in order to get them between ripe and unripe. Overripe and unripe. There we go. And he also is annoyed that people aren't happy with the music they have. It's not so much that I'm not happy with the music that I have, but I do need to increase my library because I haven't done it for years, and I do love all the songs that are on my thing, but I'm literally at the point where I'm scrolling through and like, that one. Okay, I'll listen to that one even though I've listened to it so many times. There is that sort of like tedious feeling, and then I listen to some music, new music, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing, I should add it to my library, and then I haven't. So there we go. KSGA also noticed that my background is reversed every time I use my web camera, so every time I'm in slightly lower definition and I've got those black bars on either side, my camera is flipped. So this is my right hand, and yeah, so I'm very used to it now because every time I use my web camera it does flip the screen, but to those of you who aren't used to that, I imagine it's slightly disconcerting. Moving on, And Big Pogo Tube also says the fairy tale maiden thing, so yay! I don't necessarily enjoy the concept of a pixie dream girl, but I find it a flattering concept, particularly with the spring and summer things. I do like the Greek goddess fae aspect of fantasy writing and experience, and I do like that sort of like high fantasy Titania and Oberon and all those sort of classic fairy stories. So yeah, I'm a fan of the ye olde myths. In regards to my racism video, I just want to clear up one thing, which is I said quite a few times in that video that I don't have anything to say as a white person, and that I just want to clear up that it's not that I'm saying that I can't say anything and I shouldn't say anything as a white person because I'm white. It's more because I haven't had the experience. The question, the naked truth, was about my personal experience with racism, and I haven't really had one. And that's why I kind of was avoiding the subject, because I haven't personally had an experience involving racism with me personally, and so the question wasn't really something that I could personally talk about because I haven't had any personal experience with it. What I do say in the video is, I believe everyone should have equal rights and everyone should be thought of as equal, and people are people, but I kind of shoved that under the surface because I was really nervous about talking about the subject, because it is an incredibly difficult subject to talk about. So just to clear up that matter, I'm not saying that I can't talk about the subject because I'm white. I'm saying that I can't talk about the subject as a white person who hasn't experienced any racism for me personally, so I don't have anything physically to discuss in terms of anecdotal references. I'm sure if I were to go to an area where a white person wasn't predominantly the culture that's there, or the race that's there, I might then have a personal experience to talk about, or if I were to, be in a situation where I witness active racism, then I would be able to talk about it. But I haven't. The closest that I've come to that was I had a friend who was of Asian descent, and I had a friend who was white, and he had an entire discussion about how he didn't notice that this guy was Asian, but did notice that his girlfriend who was Lithuanian looked Eastern European, and how he just had difficulty working that one out. And I don't think that's racism at all. I think that's kind of the opposite of racism, that he didn't notice the different races. He just kind of noticed people, and he was more able to notice the difference in accent as from someone who grew up in Eastern Europe, but was white. He was able to recognise that cultural difference more than he was able to notice the physical difference, which I think is actually a very forward-thinking thing, and it wasn't a negative thing, it was just a noticing thing. So again, that's my kind of sum up on that subject. I'm not going to go into too much more detail because that's something to talk about, but the thing with the naked truth is word vomit for the most part. It's, completely unthought out thought processes. I think I filmed that at 1 or 2 in the morning after having a 3-hour-long boiling hot bath and a couple of glasses of wine. So that's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. So hopefully that's cleared up a couple of thoughts on that video, I don't know. But there we go. Moving on to my children's books. I did a couple of crafting books, including nearly breaking my beautiful age-old ballet book with the ballet dance paper dolls, and being genuinely mortified. I don't think I actually snapped any, but there's a couple that were bent that I can't remember being bent before, and so I'm slightly heartbroken about that book. But Baxon commented that he missed pop-up books. I miss pop-up books. I feel like that pop-up books are kind of an art form in their own right. Like, they should be able to be kind of acceptable as adult toys, but I don't know. Anyway, moving on to my British culture super duper long ramble. Mr. Harry Britt Allen commented that my setup was quite nice. I was up by that window over there. I had my tripod balanced on my bed about here. And yeah, it was a pretty good setup. It didn't really help. It was an experiment to see whether or not I felt confident talking to the camera while outside, to practice vlogging outdoors, and I'm fine. Sat on my bed, about a metre away from a windowsill. I'm fine with that now. But physically opening my windowsill and people seeing me when I was filming. I don't know whether or not you guys saw me towards the end of that video being like, there's a car coming, let's wrap up this video really quickly. But there we go. So thank you for complimenting it. It's something that I still need to work on. But there we go. Paxton asked if I've ever had haggis. I kind of have. I kind of enjoyed it. It kind of tastes like stuffing, like sausage stuffing. I had it while in Edinburgh with my sisters, not past Christmas, but Christmas before. Yeah, it was the around the same time that Frozen came out, so I think it's last Christmas. And yeah, me and my sister went up to Edinburgh and wandered around all the museums up there. It was freezing, you know, middle of December, freezing in Edinburgh. And on our last night we decided it was very good, and we stayed in the evening on the home cooked meals every night. And then on the last night we were like, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go out for a nice fancy meal. And we got a recommendation from the guy at the desk at reception who was kind of student age, and he recommended what turned out to be quite a nice pub, but it wasn't like a nice pub. It was a kind of studenty pub, which is fine because, you know, we weren't looking to spend a huge amount of money, but we're looking for like a fancy last meal. And it's kind of like a Wetherspoons type thing. I don't know whether or not any of you guys in America know what Wetherspoons is, but that's kind of like a brand of chain pub restaurant type things. It wasn't the nicest place. It wasn't horrible. There wasn't any problems with it, but it was things like the most expensive bottle of wine that we bought to share was cheaper than your average bottle of wine from a slightly fancy restaurant. And bless him, the guy who we got the bottle of wine from didn't like the bottle of wine that we'd ordered, the red bottle of wine. It wasn't actually on stock. He had to go down to the cellar to get it, and it was chilled because it'd been in the cellar in Edinburgh in the winter. So me and my sister like passed it around, like hugging it to try and get it up to ambient temperature, so that we could drink it while it was, you know, red wine's meant to be served at room temperature. So that was quite funny. But yes, I did have haggis that time. My sisters had it was like a haggis taster mix. It was like chicken stuffed with haggis, or chicken with like haggis slices on the side. So it was just little tasters of it for kind of the people who want to try it but don't really know what it is type thing. And then I have another dish from what I had, and I tried a little bit of it. So that's how I had haggis, and I quite enjoyed it. Wow, long complicated story for a very long video. Mark said he didn't know what HEB was, except from Rooster Teeth, and says that McDonald's is disgusting. But there we go. And I should try In-N-Out Burger while in America, which is all very good things to say. Ethan Lyle says that HEB is kind of a grocery store franchise that does fresh food, locally transported food daily. In England we have a lot of different supermarkets, and you go to different supermarkets depending on what you're after and what sort of zones you're in. So obviously I think Asda is the equivalent of Walmart. I think they're sister companies. Tesco's is, I think, along the same sort of price margin as that. Waitrose is kind of a slightly fancier supermarket in terms of food. It tends to be slightly nicer, slightly more free range stuff, slightly more local producey stuff generally. There's a whole thing written about, you know, you try and buy, if you can, a lot of food that is popular and stuff that you kind of want to get is British owned type thing. So you get British grown strawberries and British grown tomatoes, and it may or may not be less expensive than Spanish grown tomatoes, but you kind of get moral points for having bought British ones. I don't know whether or not that's a thing for other countries, but that's the thing. For me, in my household, we have an organic vegetable bag, which sounds like the most middle class thing you can possibly have. But it was through a mutual friend that we get organic local veg that gets delivered to our door once a week from literally some family friends that I cat sit for. It's kind of just like a community thing. We also have in my village a community-run post office, where basically the post office shut down, and then slowly about 5 years later they were like, we do the post office. And then they brought back literally just the post office part, and then it got turned into a village shop, and it's all community run. Like nobody is paid. It's all volunteers who come in and run the till and manage the cash and stuff. And all of the food is, most of it is, just brought in. There's things like locally made bread. There's locally made, there's freshly made like Oxfordshire wine that's brought in and distributed. You can do things like if someone has an abundance of homegrown apples, they can bring them in and do like a trade and donation. Like we can't actually physically sell them, but you can put in a box of apples and you make a donation and take some apples home with you and that sort of thing. It's just the ultimate of community-run village shops. It's wonderful, and I discovered today, air conditioned. I spent like half an hour in there. I had like hot chocolate, and I bought some crisps, and I milled around for about half an hour in the post office because it was air conditioned, and then I had to go outside and got hit by this massive ball of heat. I had to bike home. Anyway, wow, tangents. I think that answers your question, I hope. Anyway, you can buy organic foods in pretty much any supermarket. They're just generally a lot more expensive and a bit harder to come by. KSJ said he was in McDonald's in London once, but doesn't remember if there's a difference between English foods and American foods. And I do promise to tell you guys all about my food experiences while in America. I'm sure I'll have more than enough material from my experience in VidCon to fill up the next couple of months of vlogs, but we'll see how it goes. And Big Buster, wishes me luck on the British Culture series that I'm promised that I am working on and will come out in a week and a half now. Big Burger Tube is impressed. Oh, sorry, moving on to last video, crafting, seams and stuff. Big Burger Tube is impressed that I know how to do alterations. I did do like haberdashery in school. We had a pre-GCSE, I think I did year 7, year 8, so when I was 11 and 12. We learnt how to make a purse and how to make a 90, but we only really learnt the super duper basics. Like we weren't allowed to do things like the elasticated collar. The teacher did that for us, and then we came back the next lesson, it was done, and then we learned how to tie-dye. But that was really basic machine stuff. My mum taught me some basics when I was very little. We have a Victorian sewing machine that at some point I should show to you guys because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a hand crank Victorian sewing machine and it's amazing, and I want my mum to teach me how to use it at some point because it is gorgeous, but it is an antique. It is still functional, and I think in her heart she doesn't want me to touch it for fear that I will break it because I am notoriously klutzy. But I do want to show it to you guys. Some beautiful keyed box, and it's just amazing. But she taught me some basics in terms of that, and I've already, like, in primary school, so this is when I was 5, 6, 7, we occasionally would have crafting lessons. So I learned how to do cross stitching, and I learned how to do things like basic buttons. I can remember one supply teacher having a hissy because when you're tying a knot at the end of the string, you just want a dot, you don't want a football. I remember that, so like that's extreme vivid memory, but yes, it was because you tie a knot at the end of the string when you pull it through, and I was in the age where you tie a knot, and you tie another knot, and you tie another, and you end up with like a big knot. But yeah, anyway, anecdote. And this is Shane. Your comment was marked as likely spam, but I've allowed it, and thank you for. It is so great to see other vloggers on YouTube doing such cool videos. Keep up the work on the channel. It was great. Thank you very much, and good luck to you too. Anyway, that is a lot of talking. This video is 23 minutes. Holy macaroni. I'm sorry, guys. Clearly I am rambly today. I am going to go and take a cold shower to try and cool off, and probably sleep very soon for like 12 hours to try and deal with the minor case of heat stroke that I'm probably suffering from, although probably won't be improved much tomorrow unless we get this thunderstorm that we've been promised. Last night at around 2 o'clock in the morning there was thunder, and then about 10 minutes later from the other window there was lightning. No rain. If there is rain, I will go outside and dance in it because it is so hot and so humid. And, I am unladylike right now. I apologize. Anyway, feel free to comment on something that I've talked about today. If you've watched all the way to the end of the video, then let's have a secret code word. It's something that Christopher Ware does. Let's see, if you've watched all the way to the video, the code word that I want you to put into the comments, put it subtly into the comments is Daisy, like the flower Daisy. Okay, so if you've watched all the way to the end, if you've watched all 25 minutes of this vlog, somehow slip the word Daisy into the comments really subtly. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another vlog, which will be a naked truth. So yeah, we'll see you guys all then.